Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Donna Feazell, and I'm your host of Donna's Edge on IC Radio, your source for news and entertainment. You can also find us on television, channel 182 on Charter Communications, and Abundance Television found on Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire. And also, you need to check out the podcast. It's going to be up and running the very 1st of November, so we're really excited about that. But you got a little heads up. There's the website. It'll be on. Oh, and by the way, any suggestions for shows or questions for AP or any of the other guests we have, you can send an email to donna@donnasedge.com. We have with us everybody's favorite talk show host when it pertains to sports because he knows all this good stuff. AP Steadham. He gets to travel and do all the fun stuff other people only dream of.
Good morning, Donna. How are you?
I'm doing great. How about you?
Oh, very well, Donna. Yeah, the crisp air of football, the football weather, and we're approaching that. I think this is the third Saturday in October, I believe, coming up.
Yeah.
So that's significant in the state of Alabama. At least it has been through the years with Alabama and Tennessee, Alabama getting together.
Mm-hmm. That's going to be exciting. Let's talk about that. How do you think it's going to wind up?
Yeah, Tennessee, they came away with a 20-13 victory over Texas A&M. Donna, that game, there were 23 penalties. 23. I'm sure they had to soak their arm after the game. The officials are throwing the blame so much. I think 11 by one and 12 by the other. Texas A&M and Tennessee. So Tennessee was able to rush the ball effectively in the game. One of the running backs, I think, had 136 yards, and they held down A&M's rushing game, and the passing game, they intercepted Max Johnson, the quarterback, a couple of times. And Joe Milton, he threw an interception, but he only threw for 100 yards in the game. So Tennessee have to be better, I think, in the Alabama game to complete some passes, especially on third down. But they were able to come away with a victory, which was big for them because they're still in contention. The SEC Eastern Division with just a single loss on the road to Florida. So big game, traveling to Tuscaloosa. Last year they had the game-winning field goal to edge out the Crimson Tide 52-49, first time in, 15 years or so. So that was huge. They rushed the field, but they put 52 points in Alabama. That's the first time since 1907 Donna. Alabama had 50 points scored on them in the regular season game, So, but it should be an exciting game. Alabama's playing better defensively. Tennessee's playing better defensively. The two quarterbacks, they're in, Alabama, Jalen Milroe, he's getting better. He had about 238 yards passing. He can throw the long ball, Donna. If you like watching the long passes, he's very good at that particular pass. And of course, he's very effective running the ball. So could be a tight ball game. Kickers could be involved, right? Alabama's kicker, Will Riker, has not missed extra point or field goals, I believe, all season. He did that a couple of years ago. All his field goals were successful, all the extra points. So it's highly unusual. If he goes through the whole season again, I don't know if there's a kicker who's ever done that. Made all the field goals and extra points in 2 seasons. Never mind just one. But should be an exciting ball game. Who can contain their quarterback, in the pocket? The running game is important for both teams. Alabama sputters with that run game. Sometimes they're successful. Just depends on the matchup. But Tennessee, as we always have said through the years, that they're going to improve on the defensive side. That's going to help them be an elite team, not just a very good team. So that was a good effort against Texas A&M. Now they need to duplicate that when they travel to Tuscaloosa because it'll help their offense if they can keep Alabama's offense on the sideline.
Eric had a good question, and his question was this. He said, now, when Alabama and Tennessee play, based on how they played their last game with other teams, if they play the exact same way, how do you think the turnout's going to be?
It'll be tight. It's going to be a tight game because they both were able to score 20 or more. But it wasn't like an avalanche of offense. A lot of good defense, and both games were tight. Alabama won against Arkansas 24-21. They did a good job defensively against a big, strong quarterback, KJ Jefferson. Held him down to his passing. I think it was about 150 yards, and they stopped the run. And Alabama ended up with 415 yards Tennessee ended up with over 300 and holding Texas A&M to about 250.
Mm-hmm.
So that's two good defensive games by both of those teams. Mm-hmm. So if they continue to play strong defense, then it's going to be a play. It's going to be just a handful of plays to win the game when you review everything. Somebody will have maybe a long touchdown run or a pass or an interception, fumble, field goal kicker makes it successful at the end. So I suspect it's going to be a tight ball game because both teams have been looking forward to this game ever since last year. And both have the one loss. Alabama has the loss at Texas. They don't have any losses in the conference. Tennessee has the one loss in the conference. So they're still in contention on the SEC East. Alabama is in the lead at this moment in the West.
Mm-hmm. Well, Tony had a remark, and he said, this is going to be a tight game. We all know that.
Yeah, I think so.
The equivalent of Alabama and Auburn. So he said he suspects there'll be a record-making amount of penalties on this game on both sides.
You think so? The coaches hope that's not the case.
No doubt.
Yeah, the coaches hope that's not the case, but Tennessee did have double-digit penalties against A&M, so I'm sure Coach Heupel, he's not happy about that because in a tight ball game, penalty or two could change the outcome for sure. Alabama, I think, maybe had 5 this weekend, so that's a good average. You really want 5 or lower probably in a game this magnitude, but Tennessee's got to cut those penalties way down if they're going to be successful. Because I don't think they could have over 10 penalties and win this game. No. It'll work against them, I believe.
And I wanted to say this to all the Alabama and Tennessee fans: will you please forget Philip Fulmer? I mean, this is a grudge. People are still holding grudges about this. That's been how many years ago?
Yeah, they won't. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think they will, Donna. I don't think they will. Yeah.
There was another ball game. Let's talk about Auburn.
Yeah, I was at the Auburn game. I was there in Baton Rouge this past Saturday night. And Donna, I mean, Auburn's a team that if they want to win, the score is probably going to have to be in the 20s because their offense struggles so much. They can't throw the football. They don't have separation with their wide receivers. They're not very effective passing, so they have to be able to run and throw those short passes every once in a while, take some shots deep, which they did, but they weren't successful. So, and LSU, Donna, has scored the last 3 games, and 2 of them on the road. This one was at home, 49, 49, 48. So they're a high-scoring team. Jaden Daniels, tremendous quarterback. He's going for 300 yards almost every game, probably every game this season. And he's very elusive as a runner. He looks like a tall wide receiver. He's about 6'3", narrow shoulders, but long-legged, can really run fast. And he's elusive too. He can shake you, and it's hard to tackle and get a hold of him. And they have the 2 wide receivers, exceptional Thomas and Malik Neighbors, number 11 and number 8. Mason Taylor, the tight end. He has so many options in the passing game, and the running backs are coming on strong. Logan Diggs, a transfer from Notre Dame, very good offensive line protecting him. Kicker is solid as well. Hunter is very good for LSU defense. I think it's getting better, but you still can score points against them. But you have to have an efficient passing game. You have to give yourself a chance. And so, 48-18, Auburn was beaten by 30 points. It was, I think, the biggest maybe margin probably in Baton Rouge in that series. So they did not play well, and now they have to face Ole Miss. Almost had a bye. They're coming off 2 weeks ago, a victory 27-20 over Arkansas. So this is the first time the former Ole Miss coach Hugh Freeze will be facing his former team, Ole Miss, as an Auburn coach. He faced him, I think, at Liberty, played him when he was coach of Liberty. But should be an interesting game. Ole Miss can score a lot of points, as we know. Good offense under Lane Kiffin. So Auburn's going to have a tough task again. Has to play a lot of good defense to stay in the game.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So let's talk about Southeast Conference. By the way, AP is also talk show host of another show. And so we'll be talking about that in just a few minutes. But let's talk about the conference right now, as we see it, to quote your show. And so so we've had a few games played.
Right.
And so who do you see as your idea of the top 5? And then let's talk about what the stats are.
Okay. Yeah. Donna, we always looking to Georgia right now because, they're defending 2-time national champion. They're very strong. Carson Beck is the quarterback this year. He's been playing excellent. Always in the pocket, has a lot of 300-point games. 300-yard games. And Georgia, they beat Vanderbilt this past week 37-20 up in Nashville. So they're undefeated. So they're the strongest in the East, followed by, I would say, Tennessee right now. Tennessee's a team that has a chance to win that division as well, but they face Alabama in Tuscaloosa. That's
crucial.
Crucial for them. Have to keep winning. Florida had a big upset over South Carolina at South Carolina. South Carolina was a slight favorite, Donna, and they were behind by double digits. Came back to win 41-39. Big victory for the Florida program. Graham Mertz had an excellent ball game, the transfer quarterback from Wisconsin. Kentucky was defeated by the other Eastern Division opponent, Missouri. That was a home game in Lexington, and I think that was disappointing for the Kentucky fans. Missouri, and they don't care for each other too much. The games have been close, so they lost in Lexington 38-21. Missouri is having an excellent season, and they've won the 6 games already, qualified for a bowl, Missouri. So
was that surprising to you? I didn't hear a whole lot about Missouri in the first part of the year.
Yeah, I think it's surprising. Missouri right now is sitting with the 1 loss, and it could have easily been undefeated because when they played LSU at home, they were ahead by 15 points at one time and put 39 points on the board. That's plenty of points to win, but the defense could not stop LSU. As I said, LSU's offense is hot.
Yeah.
So, but that's a huge win for Missouri on the road against Kentucky. It's in the same division and everything. So, Missouri is a team. If you look at their schedule, Donna, they have to play South Carolina. That's Columbia to Columbia. Columbia, Missouri, Columbia, South Carolina. So they travel to Columbia, South Carolina this week to face South Carolina, coming off that disappointing home loss to Florida. So if they keep winning, Missouri, they have a chance because they have a bye week, and then they have to play Georgia in Athens. Mm-hmm. If they were to beat South Carolina and have just the 1 loss to LSU, that game could be for the division. Of course, they have to face Tennessee, and that's to be a home game in Columbia. And then Florida is a home game in Columbia as well, followed by Arkansas on that Friday, that Thanksgiving Friday. That's in Fayetteville. So they have a tough road these next bunch of games, Donna, Missouri. But it could be done. But I wouldn't say they'd overwhelm everybody on the schedule, but they could win. But so that Eastern Division is still really Georgia at this point. And in my mind, Tennessee, we'll have to see what Tennessee does in Tuscaloosa. If you look at the Western side, Alabama's in the lead. A&M lost again. Mississippi State has not been faring well. Ole Miss is a team that they have that loss to Alabama. And, they beat LSU. So that's they're taking care of the top opponents on that side. So Mississippi right now has to go to Auburn. You have to play Vanderbilt. That's a home game in Oxford. Texas A&M is in Oxford. Georgia in Athens. UL Monroe. That's an Oxford. That's a home game. And then Mississippi State in Starkville. That should be, I think, Thanksgiving night probably. So Mississippi can have a really nice season, Tom. They can have a real nice, if they continue to win, and Alabama lose, they could win that division. They could win that division.
Hey, Pete, we're going to have to go into a commercial break. We'll be right back in just a minute. Everybody hang in there, okay? Boy, lots of good stuff to talk about. At Lamone's Mexican Restaurant, located in Henniger, Alabama, and voted Best Mexican Restaurant of DeKalb County, Alabama 2020, we're here to serve you with authentic Mexican cuisine. Order easily online by going to lamonsmex.com or call 256-657-3999 to place your order. We're open Sunday through Thursday, 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. and Friday and Saturday, 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Whether you're celebrating a cozy date night for two or a celebration for a crowd, at Lamone's you'll love our atmosphere and friendly servers. Thank you for dining with Lamone's Mexican Restaurant. At Liberty Bank, we're all about community, whether it's to help with a charity fundraiser or help families in need. Toys at Christmas or a local football team, we're here for you. You see, we realize the importance of family. Sometimes it's to build a new home or necessary home repairs. We're here for you. If you like the feel of a small town bank with all the conveniences of a big city bank, we're here to serve you. You will find us at any of our convenient locations in DeKalb, Marshall, Etowah, and Blount counties in North Alabama. You can call and speak with any of our friendly staff at 256-659-2175 or check us out on the web at libertybankal.com. And thank you for your support of our community. Member FDIC Equal Housing Lender. Jeff McCurdy of the McCurdy Law Firm has been a public service of this area for over 10 years. McCurdy, a member of the Henniger City Council, serves as prosecutor for the town of Sylvania and was named public defender for the city of Rainsville. The McCurdy Law Firm is located at 17326 Alabama Highway 75 in Henniger to better represent his Jackson and DeKalb County clients. If you need to be represented by a true public servant with proven success, call Jeff at 256-996-8701 or send a private email to mccurdylawfirm@gmail.com. No representation is made that the legal services performed is greater than the legal services performed by other lawyers. The only place I buy my beef is Lone Tree Ranch in Collinsville, Alabama. Their cattle is born and raised on their ranch, grass and grain fed, and you can feel confident when you serve your family and friends because their beef is all natural and no antibiotics or hormones are added. You can buy whole beef or perhaps go in with family or friends and buy half. Their customer service is number one as they take care of the delivery to their local processor and can deliver to your home for a small added fee. They also offer herd replacement heifers. I always call Lone Tree Ranch in Collinsville, Alabama for my beef specialty recipes and cookouts, and you can too. Food shortages are increasing, so buy local by calling 256-523-6462. That's 256-523-6462. The Hatter Cafe and Country Inn is nestled in the northeast corner of Alabama the Beautiful in the delightful town of Mentone. We're located on top of scenic Lookout Mountain near Little River and DeSoto State Park and located only 5 minutes from shopping and restaurants. There is also a nearby community walking path and golf course. We welcome everyone through the doors and we are committed to outstanding service for all guests. At the Hatter Cafe and Country Inn, we invite people from all walks of life to come and get away from it all, enjoy the open spaces, treetop views, fresh, clean air, and experience Southern hospitality at its finest. We look forward to hosting you. To reserve a special event, or if you would love a special getaway at the Country Inn, you can call us at 256-634-2018. We are back. My name is Donna, and I am your host of Donna's Edge, where we tell the truth. Truth matters. And we got one guy who tells the truth all the time about football. His name is AP Steadham. He has his own talk show as well, AP and Kelly, As We See It. What's going on with the show?
Yeah, Donna, we had an excellent guest last week, Yogi Roth, a friend of mine. He covers the Pac-12. He's a TV analyst, radio, filmmaker, author. It was fun to discuss the Pac-12 because they're popping out there. They have a lot of teams in the top 25. They're winning, and there's a potential for one of those teams, I think, to be in the college football playoff, which essentially will affect the SEC because we all believe in the past what's happened is that SEC has a team or two in the college football playoff. They've been among the four. So we always try to keep an eye on some of these teams nationally as well. So I wanted to have a Yogi discuss the Pac-12 teams, Oregon, Washington, and USC, and UCLA, and Utah, that type of thing. So it was fun to have him on the show.
What's coming up this coming week?
Yeah, we're going to be discussing the games. There's only there's 5 teams have a bye this week down in the SEC, believe it or not. And, right near the middle of the season. So, we have the Alabama-Tennessee game, Auburn-Ole Miss, and let me see the other games on the schedule. We have Mississippi State plays Arkansas at Arkansas, South Carolina, Missouri. We mentioned that's the Columbia game. So those are the only games on the schedule, Donna. And everybody else has a bye. A&M and Vanderbilt and Kentucky, Georgia, and Florida. They have byes. So we just so that's all the games we have to discuss this week. It's an interesting week that the October 21st, the third Saturday in October. It's always that Alabama-Tennessee game. Most of the time, it's the big game on the schedule. Once again, this year it is. It's the big game on the schedule.
And I'm really excited about that. That is a game I'm going to make sure I see.
Everybody should watch it. It's a fun game. Yeah.
We had Aaron had a question. He said sometimes he doesn't have cable, doesn't have satellite dish, and he wanted to know your best source for finding the football games. I guess he's talking free.
Yeah,
right. Free. Sometimes you got to do pay per view or get a program.
Yeah, I mean, if he's near a place where he can go to an establishment that has a lot of games, maybe that's his best option, I would say, if he wants to see a particular game.
I know Applebee's does. They'll usually have all the football games on like 10 different
yes, right.
TVs channels all at the same time. So that's a good source. But there's a lot of restaurants.
Yeah, they encourage you to come to their establishments, and they're happy to have your team on the TV.
And right here in this area in North Alabama, Lamone's Mexican Restaurant. It's really nice in there. They're big, they're accommodating. And right there at the bar, they have, I think they're like 6 big screen TVs.
Yeah.
And you can see them all over the whole restaurant. So that's another good spot.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's in their interest to put the games out for the people.
Absolutely. So what else is going on? What's going on with Texas? And also we have some interest in Clemson and North Carolina.
Right. Yeah. Texas down, they lost the game a few weeks ago, the Red River shootout to Oklahoma. That game played at the old Cotton Bowl in Dallas. And so right now Oklahoma's on top. But if they both win out, they'll play again in the Big 12 championship. So that's a strong possibility. But Texas, they have to take care of winning the rest of their games. I mean, so they can't slip up now. So it's important for them to keep winning. And Oklahoma, the same thing. So this is their last year in the Big 12 before they come to the SEC. So I'm sure both of them would like to play one more time in the Big 12 championship at the end of the year. And then North Carolina, they won again, so that they're undefeated at this point. Clemson, has the couple losses, so they're probably out of that ACC title game, I believe. But North Carolina is still alive. They have to play Duke, I know. They have to play some other teams, Florida State, I believe. So that's a competitive league for the first time in a while. There's a number of teams besides Clemson vying for the championship. Duke, North Carolina, Florida State. And so that's fun to have. It's fun to have the conferences. And if you look around the country, you have the Big Ten with Penn State, Ohio State, and Michigan, and Iowa. Some of the teams at the top, let's say. In the Pac-12, we went over some of those teams. In the Big 12, Oklahoma and Texas, and so in the ACC, in the SEC. So it's fun to have all the conferences have multiple teams available and vying for the championship of their league.
Who's your pick? Who is your team of the week?
Yeah, the team. I'm interested now down at this Penn State, Ohio State game coming up. Penn State, Ohio State. I believe Penn State travels to Columbus. Penn State, very good team, 2 good running backs, solid defense, good quarterback. Ohio State quarterback that's getting better, I think. Excellent receivers. playing at home. Ohio State, Penn State, Michigan, they might all beat each other in that round robin of 3 teams. So I'm very focused on watching those 3 teams in the next month and how it shakes out when they have to play each other. So that's real important.
Who is your coach of the week? We've got some good coaches out there. That's a tough question, too.
Yeah, coach of the week. Coach of the week. I would say you got to give in the SEC. I would say, Billy Napier, that was a big win for them to, on the road, come back from double digits. And they were the slight underdog to South Carolina and win that game. Because I think he's sitting right now at 5-2. 5-2, and plus he beat Tennessee, one of the big rivals. Okay. So that's a good sign for the Gators, that because he still has to recruit a roster that fits his scheme and everything. This is only his second year. And so I think Billy Napier, that's pretty impressive for him right now, 5-2.
Kathy sent a message, and her son is actually a kicker at a high school football team. So she wants to know who your kicker of the week is. Yeah, kicker of the week. I just, Will Riker, they won the game by 3 points, and he's still been very successful all season. I would say Will right now, he's on the verge, I would think, to win the Lou Groza Award, which is the best kicker in the country. So I would say Will Riker is having a tremendous season right now. Just about 30 seconds left in the segment. What would you like to tell the folks before you go?
Yeah, looking at the top 5, it's Michigan and Ohio State and Florida State and Georgia. Of course, Georgia's at the top. Georgia, Michigan, Ohio State, Florida State, Washington. Because they beat Oregon this week. That was a home victory, a close game, 3 points. So those 5 teams right now, Alabama's right on the verge of getting into the top 10. We'll see what happens, playing the tough game against Tennessee. So it's competitive. It's a very competitive year in college football.
Absolutely. Hey, Pete, thank you so much for being on the show. We always look forward to seeing you on Football Friday at 4 right here as well.
Okay. Thank you, Donna.
All right. You take care. And thank you so much for watching Donna's Edge. Always good to be with you. See you a little bit later. Bye-bye.
Are you ready?
We all wonder what tomorrow will bring, but the future lays itself at the feet of the prepared and surrenders to the will of the persistent. It's not easy, but today shapes you so you can shape tomorrow. With Northeast Alabama Community College, when the future asks if you're ready, you can answer
yes.
Begin your future at Northeast Alabama Community College.
Wow, it's so soft and smooth.
It's cool to the touch. How did you do that?
Well, we took MyPillow's patented fill and combined it with this new technology that we didn't have back then when I invented MyPillow to bring you the best pillow in history, MyPillow 2.0. Because of all of you, MyPillow 2.0 has been a huge success. And now we're bringing you our best-selling Go Anywhere MyPillows with the same temperature-regulating technology. Made with my patented adjustable fill and brand new cooling fabric, they're truly the next generation of MyPillow. So go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code to save over 60% on our MyPillow 2.0 4-pack special. You'll get 2 MyPillows and 2 Go Anywhere MyPillows. Regular $259.92, now only $99.98. King size just $10 more. This is a limited time offer, so please order now.